Hi, it's Nancy K. Smith. I'm here today with Scott Craddock. Scott is the lead pastor at Hidden Valley Community Church here in Dodgeville. Welcome, Scott.
Well, thanks for having us, Nancy. We appreciate it.
You bet. I think a lot of people are going to be anxious to hear from you. I guess there's so many things that we talked about. There's so much going on with you. Let's talk about the fact that you're still open and helping people.
Yeah, it's been a whirlwind. Less than a month ago, this all kind of hit, and we went from being a church where people gathered to being a church where people are scattered and they don't come together. We are still doing everything that we did as a church. We're just doing it in unique ways, a little bit awkward. We're learning as we go, but we are still trying to be the church.
God, that's wonderful. That's a good message. Before we get started on the church business, I want to say one thing that's always happened at your business was the Sun meals for the seniors. And I believe you said they're handling that a little bit differently now. Do you want to explain that?
Sure. Seniors United for Nutrition, it's the Sun program. They have used our kitchen and really used our building to serve senior citizens for many years. Right now, we are not serving meals in the building, but they are delivering meals. So they have a skeleton crew that comes in every day, makes the meals. The meals are transported outside to people who deliver them. So if you're interested in the Sun program, you can still check on it. You're just not going to come and eat at our building, at least until this is over. But it is still happening every day of the week.
Okay, that is good news. So you talked a little bit too, we're going to circle back on your services and what's really, in your opinion, changed about the messages that you're giving people today?
Two things have changed. The first one is I'm standing in front of a room that's empty. And I don't want to get used to that. So that's changed. It's unique. You know, I say something and I expect people to laugh and nobody laughs. But the bigger change about our services is we've started a series, and the topic is wonder, because I think with a lot of the things that we're doing right now as people is I wonder why, I wonder how, I wonder when, I wonder if. And so the past several weeks, we've just been like, it's okay to wonder. And we're doing that together. So that's kind of been the topics that we talk about on Sunday morning is I wonder. And we're doing that together. We don't have people in the building, but we have people watching. And so I just have to get used to that. I don't want to get used to it. And eventually we're going to go back to having people. And that's the way it's meant to be.
Are you getting some feedback from people who are watching the services? Are you getting, I know we talked about how you're doing the service. So you're actually recording it. And you said there was 3 ways that you could get the service. Why don't you talk about that?
Sure. The best way for most people is to go to Facebook and follow Hidden Valley Community Church. We have a campus in Richland Center as well as our main campus in Dodgeville. So if you follow either of those, the services will appear. They're shown live at 9 o'clock. That's when we have our services. But then throughout the week, you can go there and watch the services. You can also go to our church website. That's hiddenv.com. We've live streamed our services before this began. The services that do live streaming, they're really being overwhelmed by churches. And so we're finding it's more difficult to watch it there live. You can go later on in the week and you have no problems. So that's a second option. And the third option is you can always download our church app, and it'll give you a little reminder that, hey, church is starting at 9 a.m. So those are the 3 main ways. For people who are visiting, really the best way is Facebook at this point.
Okay, and if somebody wants to download the app, they'll find that on your website. Is that right?
Yes. Just go to the website and scroll down to the bottom, and it'll tell you how.
Okay, sounds good. We also talked a little bit about, some people are probably feeling some stress. It's a scary world, and some of us live alone. Some people are isolated. Are you getting a little bit more from people about that? Do you want to talk about that at all?
Sure. It's been an interesting learning process for us as a church because, we find out that we can no longer have more than 10 people meeting. And so we immediately embraced technology, which is a great thing. But the other piece that we've kind of embraced is personal touch. We've called each person who attends regularly to our church. So it's kind of that balance between using technology, but there's this personal touch that people desperately need. We have a team of people who pray. So if somebody gives us a prayer request, that goes right to them. People contact us still by email. It's interesting at Facebook, you know, you normally think that when you listen to a message in church, you have to sit there quiet. The interesting thing is that on Facebook, people can just respond as the message goes. And that's kind of, it's been, I'm not a part of the dialogue, obviously, but people watching on Facebook can share with one another and no one's going to get angry at you for talking during the message. So
it's the one time you can talk in church, huh?
absolutely.
Well, if somebody did want to email and reach out and just talk to somebody, what's the best email for them?
You can go to the church website and you can see our different staff members. For example, if you wanted to email something about families, we have a Kids Zone director, about teenagers. You can email it to our administrator. You can email me. My email is scott@hiddenv.com, and we will get back to you, as quick as we can.
Got it. All right. When I end my videos, I always give people a chance to give a positive message, and I bet you have a good one ready.
My message is this. We as an opportunity, and we've been telling this to our people, we have an opportunity. We can't meet as the church, but really when God talks about the church is a group of people being the church and going out and being the church. And so we're really encouraging people to love your neighbor as yourself. It's what Jesus told us to do. And there's two parts to that. One is to love your neighbor, but love yourself. So my encouragement to you is this: do two things every day. Wake up, ask yourself how you're doing, but then ask yourself, how are my neighbors doing? And how can I help those around me at that time? And so that's really, as complicated as this pandemic is and figuring out what's next, it's really simplified. Wake up. How are you doing? How's your neighbor doing?
I love that. Very simple. I
Yep.
really do. Okay. Well, is there anything else that you would like to share?
Just know that we as a staff are praying for our local community of Dodgeville and Mineral Point, and we've got lots of people come from other places, but we are praying for you, and we're going to get through this together because God is really, really good.
Oh, I love that. Well, thank you so much. Thanks for joining me today.